Level 1. The cleverest man alive. You are a young man on a small rocky island called Ithaca. It's not much. Goats on the hills, stone walls, a harbor full of fishing boats. The other kings of Greece rule golden cities. You rule a pile of rocks in the sea. But you have something none of them have. You're smart. Not book smart, dangerous smart. The kind of smart that wins fights before they start. The other men are stronger than you, faster, taller. You don't care. While they're flexing in the courtyard, you're 3 moves ahead, already picturing how this ends. You can talk your way out of anything. You can talk your way into anything. People underestimate you. That's your favorite weapon. By the time they realize how clever you are, it's already too late. You marry a woman named Penelope. She's as sharp as you are, which is rare because almost nobody is. You have a baby son named Telemachus. You hold him in your arms and you think, this is it. This is the whole life. The island, the wife, the boy. You will grow old here. You will die here. You will never see anything worse than a bad harvest. You have no idea what's coming. A war is about to start across the sea, and it's going to swallow 20 years of your life. Level 2. The war you didn't want. You are a grown man now, a king, and a messenger arrives with news that turns your stomach. A prince from a faraway city called Troy has stolen the wife of a powerful Greek king. Her name is Helen, and every king in Greece has sworn an oath. If anyone takes Helen, they will all sail to war to get her back. Here's the problem. You swore that oath too, years ago, before you understood what it would cost. So when the call comes, you do something unthinkable for a hero. You try to dodge the draft. You pretend to be insane. You hitch your ox and your donkey to the same plow and start sowing your field with salt instead of seeds, like a madman who's lost his mind. A king arrives to recruit you, and you act like you don't even know your own name. But the man is clever too. He takes your baby son, Telemachus, and lays him in the dirt, right in front of your plow. And you stop. You swerve. You will not run over your own child. And just like that, your bluff is exposed. You're sane. You're caught. And now you're going to war. You kiss Penelope. You hold your son one last time. You promise you'll be home soon. You believe it. You're wrong by 20 years. Level 3. The horse. You are at Troy, and the war is a nightmare that will not end. 10 years. That's how long the greatest army in the world sits outside the walls of one city and cannot break in. Troy's walls are too high, too thick. The Trojans have their own heroes, their own monsters of men. The Greeks die in the dirt by the thousands. Your friends, kings you've known your whole life. They're cut down in front of you one by one, and the walls still stand. 10 years. Think about that. You left a baby. Somewhere across that sea, your son is now 10 years old and doesn't even remember your face. The other generals want to keep charging the walls, throwing bodies at stone. You watch them and you think, this will never work. We could fight for another 10 years and lose. So you do what you always do. You think your way around the problem instead of through it. You build a horse. A giant wooden horse, hollow inside. You hide your best soldiers in its belly. Then the whole Greek army packs up, burns the camp, and sails away over the horizon, like they've finally given up and gone home. The Trojans cheer. They think they won. They drag your wooden horse through the gates as a trophy. They throw a party. They drink themselves to sleep. And in the dead of night, your men climb out of the horse's belly, open the gates, and the Greek army, hiding just out of sight, pours back in. Troy burns. After 10 years of failure, you ended the war in a single night with a trick. The whole world will remember it forever. The Trojan Horse. Your idea. Your masterpiece. You should have left it there. But on your way out, your men get greedy and cruel in the burning city. and the gods are watching. One god in particular, the god of the sea. His name is Poseidon, and you are about to make him very, very angry.
Level 4, the curse of the sea.
You are sailing home. Finally. 12 ships full of your men, riding the waves back toward Ithaca, back toward Penelope, back toward a son who is now a teenager. You should arrive in a few weeks. Instead, you're about to spend 10 more years lost at sea. It starts when you land on an island to find food, and you stumble into the cave of a giant. Not a tall man, a monster. One enormous eye in the middle of his forehead. A son of Poseidon himself. His name is Polyphemus, and he's a Cyclops. He rolls a boulder over the cave mouth, trapping you and your men inside. Then he starts eating them, alive, grabbing them 2 at a time and cracking them like crabs while you watch, helpless, in the dark. You can't fight him. He's too strong, and even if you killed him, you could never move that boulder. So you think. He asks your name, and you tell him something strange. You say your name is Nobody. You wait until he falls asleep. You and your surviving men take a sharpened wooden stake, heat the tip in the fire until it glows, and you drive it straight into his one giant eye. He wakes up screaming, blind, in agony. The other giants on the island hear him and shout through the rock, "Who's hurting you?" And he screams back, "Nobody! Nobody is hurting me!" So they shrug and walk away, because he just told them nobody's there. The next morning, you and your men escape by clinging to the bellies of his sheep as he lets them out to graze, his blind hands running over their backs, but never feeling you underneath. You made it. You're on your ship, sailing away, and the pride hits you. You can't help it. You shout back at the blind giant. You tell him your real name. You tell him it was Odysseus, king of Ithaca, who blinded him. Huge mistake. Because now the Cyclops prays to his father, Poseidon. He begs the god of the sea to curse you, to make sure you never reach home, and if you do, that you arrive late, broken, and alone, having lost everything. And the sea god hears his son. From this moment on, the entire ocean is your enemy. Level 5. So close you can see the smoke. You are exhausted, but you catch a break. You land on an island ruled by a god of the winds, and he likes you. He gives you a gift, a leather bag. Inside the bag, he's trapped every storm wind in the world, so that only one gentle wind is left to push you straight home. For 9 days you sail. On the 10th day, you see it. Ithaca, your island. You're so close you can see the smoke rising from the cooking fires. So close you can see people on the shore. After everything, you're finally home. And then you make the mistake of falling asleep. Your men have been staring at that leather bag for 9 days. They think it's full of gold and silver, treasure you're hiding from them. So while you sleep, just off the coast of your own island, they open it. Every storm in the world explodes out at once. The winds scream, the sea rises into a wall, and you are blasted all the way back across the ocean, away from Ithaca, back to where you started. You watched your home with your own eyes, and the sea ripped it away. That's the curse. That's what Poseidon promised. To make sure that every time you get close, the water pulls you back.
Level 6, the witch and the dead. You are losing men, fast. You land on another island and a witch lives there, a goddess named Circe. She invites half your crew inside, feeds them a warm meal, and then waves a wand and turns them into pigs. Real pigs, squealing in a pen, with the minds of men still trapped inside. You go to save them, and instead of fighting her, you do what you do best. You outwit her. You charm her. You're so clever that the witch, who has destroyed 100 crews before you, actually falls for you. She turns your men back into humans, and she lets you stay. You stay a year. A whole year on that island, safe, warm, fed. And slowly you realize the danger isn't always a monster. Sometimes the danger is comfort. Sometimes the thing that stops you from getting home is that home stops feeling real. When you finally leave, Circe gives you a horrifying instruction. To find your way home, she says, you must sail to the edge of the world, to the land of the dead, and you must speak to the ghosts. So you do. You sail to a dark, cold place where the living aren't supposed to go, and you call up the spirits of the dead. You speak to a blind prophet who warns you of everything coming, and then you see a face you weren't ready for. Your own mother. She was alive when you left for Troy. She's dead now. And you learn that she died of grief, waiting for you. A son who never came home. You reach out to hug her, 3 times. And 3 times your arms pass straight through her, because she's only a shadow now. You can't hold your own mother. You came back too late. You leave that place with a knife in your heart and a warning in your ears. The hardest part of the journey is still ahead. Level 7, the songs that kill. You are back at sea, and now you're sailing through a gauntlet of death, exactly like the witch warned you. First, the Sirens. Creatures whose singing is so beautiful that every sailor who hears it steers toward them and crashes on the rocks and dies. You want to hear that song. You're too curious not to. So you have your men plug their own ears with wax, and then you tell them to tie you to the mast, tight, and no matter how much you beg, do not untie you. The song comes. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard, and it promises to tell you everything, all the secrets of the world. You scream at your men to release you. You thrash against the ropes until your wrists bleed. They don't listen because you told them not to. And that's the only reason you live. Then comes the worst choice of your life, a narrow strait. On one side, a whirlpool that will swallow your entire ship. On the other side, a 6-headed monster named Scylla, perched on a cliff. If you sail close to the monster, it will grab and eat 6 of your men, 1 for each head. There is no good option, so you make the cold call. You steer away from the whirlpool, toward the monster, and you don't tell your men why. And as you pass, Scylla reaches down and snatches 6 of your crew, lifting them screaming into the air. You hear them calling your name as they're carried off to be eaten, and you keep rowing. Because losing 6 is better than losing everyone. That's the kind of choice this journey forces on you, the kind that never washes off. Level 8, alone. You are down to 1 ship, then you lose that too. Your last remaining men, starving, make one final mistake on an island they were warned never to touch. The gods punish them for it. A storm smashes your last ship to splinters. Every single one of your men drowns. Every one. The crew you sailed from Troy with, hundreds of men, all of them gone. And you're the only one left, clinging to a piece of wreckage in the open ocean, alone, the way the Cyclops cursed you to be. You wash up, half dead, on an island ruled by a beautiful goddess named Calypso. And she decides she wants to keep you. For 7 years, she does. 7 years on a paradise island, a goddess who loves you, who offers to make you immortal, to make you a god, if you'll just stay with her forever and forget Ithaca exists. And you say no. Every single day, you say no. The most powerful temptation in the world, eternal life, no aging, no death, no pain, and you turn it down. Because every evening you sit on the shore and stare at the empty sea in the direction of home, and you weep. You would rather be a mortal man who dies on his own rocky island than a god who lives forever anywhere else.
Eventually, even the gods take pity. They order Calypso to let you go. You build a raft with your own hands and push off, alone, into the sea that has been trying to kill you for 10 years. Level 9, the stranger in his own home. You are finally back on Ithaca, after 20 years, and nothing is okay. Your house is full of enemies. While you were gone, everyone assumed you were dead. So over 100 men, arrogant young lords, have moved into your palace. They're eating your food, drinking your wine, and demanding that your wife, Penelope, marry one of them. They're bullying your son, Telemachus, who's now a grown man you've never met. They're plotting to murder him,
And here's the brutal part. You can't just walk in and announce yourself. There are over 100 of them and one of you. So you disguise yourself as an old beggar in rags. You walk into your own home and nobody recognizes the king. They mock you. They throw food at you. They kick you. You take it. You take all of it. Because you're doing the thing you've always done best. You're waiting. You're 3 moves ahead. You're letting them think you're nobody. The only one who recognizes you is your old dog. 20 years old now, lying forgotten on a pile of dung, barely alive. He lifts his head. He sees through the disguise instantly. He wags his tail one time, and then he dies. He held on for 20 years just to see you come home. You find your son alone, and you reveal yourself. After 20 years, father and son finally stand face to face, and together, the two of you start to plan. Level 10, The Reckoning. You are about to take back everything. Penelope, still as clever as you, sets up a contest without even knowing it's a trap. She announces she'll marry whichever man can string your old, massive war bow and shoot an arrow clean through a row of axe handles. It's impossible. None of the arrogant lords can even bend the bow. They grunt and strain and fail, one after another, in front of the whole hall. Then the old beggar asks for a turn. They laugh at you. They let you try as a joke. You pick up the bow only you can use. And in one smooth motion, like 20 years never happened, you string it. The whole room goes silent. You fire. The arrow flies straight through every single axe handle. And then you stand up, and you throw off the rags, and they see you for the first time. The king is home. What happens next is not gentle. With your son beside you and your old bow in your hands, you bar the doors and you take your house back from the men who tried to steal it. Every last one of them. The cleverest man alive, finally done being patient. And then, at the very end of it all, you climb the stairs to a woman who waited 20 years, who fought off 100 suitors with her own tricks, who never gave up on you even when the whole world said you were dead. Penelope. She tests you one last time, because she's too smart to be fooled by a stranger. And you pass. Because it's really you. You are home. After a war that took 10 years and a journey that took 10 more. After the giant and the witch and the monsters and the sea god who hated you. After losing every man you sailed with. After turning down the chance to live forever, you gave all of it up. For a rocky little island. For a wife. For a son, for a life that was small and ordinary and yours. That was always the prize. Not glory, not immortality, just home. You paid the price, and now you are a legend.